Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. It's very easy when you're talking about the zombies storyline to fall into a trap of just taking everything a bit too seriously. And so today, we're going to be fully embodying that one meme with the guy in front of the whiteboard and all the pins behind him, and basically chasing down as many rabbit holes as we can to find our own zombies storyline conspiracy theories. We'll start off with a link that I found earlier today, just by chance when I was on Google, between Alpha Omega and the Black Ops 1 campaign. I know it sounds weird, that's kind of the point, but it's actually a really fun one to connect the dots on, and it also leads us down a quite interesting path with some actual story implications linking us back to Der Eisendrache again. Then we'll pivot and focus on Gorod Krovi for a moment, and specifically Mr. T. Lexify playing Gorod Krovi, you'll see why very soon. And finally, we'll wrap up with an Easter egg hidden in the name Alpha Omega that is just the most Treyarchy thing you can imagine for Treyarch to do with the name of a map like this. It's just so them. So, who's ready to go down a rabbit hole and start theorizing with me, eh? We're gonna go on an absolute conspiracy theory trip here, guys. So, in Black Ops 1, which came out 10 years ago, there is a mission called Revelation. That's interesting. We now have a zombies map called Revelations, so I wonder if there's anything related to zombies in Revelation. You go in the map and there are echelon numbers hidden throughout the mission. And those echelon numbers can be translated. They're a cipher, they tell us a whole load of stuff. There are also ascension numbers as well, and they're a similar code that tells us similar stuff. Now, two of those secret cipher numbers are 2213. In isolation, doesn't really mean much, but we are on a conspiracy theory hunt right now. So, we're going to use the name of the mission, which is related to zombies, and we're going to use two of these numbers to look up a verse in the Bible. Revelation 22:13. That just so happens to be the line that states, "I am the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last, the beginning and the end." And there we have Nuketown Zombies, a nice culmination of a little journey kind of ping-ponging through some Call of Duty history. Now, another really interesting random thing I noticed here is that Echelon, as in the echelon numbers, are actually an organization that I believe acts as an umbrella, and part of Echelon is HARP. And HARP is mentioned in Transit because it's specifically a HARP research station that the Transit bus driver, Ted, talks about. And recently, we've been talking about Broken Arrow and Rushmore and all sorts of interesting stuff that Ted says in Transit. And it's just a funny little coincidence that now I look back at this random conspiracy theory and Bob's your uncle, we have yet another link to good old Ted. So a lot of you guys have already probably seen the map name Alpha and Omega and then kind of gone the other direction that I went and gone back to the Bible book and then gone, oh, this verse is interesting. But what some of you may not have seen is that in, I think it was Der Eisendrache, there was a Trithemius cipher solved by Nino, which said the following: "After the great battle, they stood up on the mound. Their light shone down and cleansed all the sickness for as far as the eye could see." And then the relevant bit, "They are the first, they are the last. Visions of fractured worlds and strange rooms haunted our dreams." So while the previous stuff I was talking about was just a kind of silly conspiracy theory, this is an actual direct link that is completely concrete. There's a message in Der Eisen which links to this verse, which contains the name of our current map. That's really interesting in my opinion, especially because the rest of that message is kind of strange. It doesn't really make sense, and it never really has done. The first part makes some sense. After the great battle, they stood up on the mound. Sure, that, for all we know, could be after DLC 4 in the ending. So I'll be making a prediction video soon. You better believe that this is going to be mixed up in there. But it could also be the original Great War back in, what, like the 1300s? Or rather, I guess it was the 13th century, end of the 1200s. The sickness being cleansed could absolutely relate to either of those two things. And also, they are the first, they are the last, would kind of make sense as well, because premise are literally the first and the last. The bit that's weird, though, is the visions of fractured worlds and strange rooms haunted our dreams. Like, what? What is that? Is that a separate cipher that they've glued onto this one? Is this a quote from someone telling a story? Is that all the zombies storyline is gonna be in DLC 4, it's a mystery. But there's a link between the name of this coming map, Alpha and Omega, and that cipher from DE. All right, that's enough. That's enough serious stuff. Let's get another silly thing in here. Lex predicted Alpha and Omega 3 years ago. Enjoy the clip, guys.
To be continued or concluded.
Holy.
Oh, yeah!
No! Stop it!
Holy
Stop it!
Think about it. It's kind of cool. Like DLC 2 ended on Origins and then Revelations. Like I don't know.
And it's the same. It's the same font and everything. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Look. Damn. Origins. Dude, you're so right. Origins and then Revelations. It's like.
Yeah.
It's like
The start of it and
the
then
Alpha and the Omega boys. Oh, that's so cool.
Dude, I got chills when I saw that text the first time, dude.
The
My
ending now.
boy Blundell.
Finale.
Killing it. Killing it, dude. Holy.
Love you, Bundle.
Holy hell, man.
Okay, that's enough silly stuff. I said that there was an Easter egg hidden in the name of the map, right? It wasn't me that spotted this originally. I can't take any credit for it, okay? The first person that I saw mention this was Bradley Smith, or VDF Logic on Twitter, and he tweeted me and basically said the following. If you take the name Alpha Omega, it's AO. As I'm sure you guys know, ciphers are a huge part of Call of Duty Zombies. Jason Blundell is in love with the damn things. And so, we can use those two pieces of information to come to a really interesting conclusion. A very common cipher is a substitution cipher, which takes letters from the alphabet and converts them into numbers. So A would be 1, B would be 2, C would be 3, etc. And when translated with that substitution cipher, the A becomes a 1 and the O becomes a 1-5. Only Treyarch would end up with a coincidence or an intentional message this damn perfect. There's just no way you would ever see this anywhere else. And it's just a small thing, right? It's just a little sort of nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Oh, I know the little secret in the Easter egg in the name, but it's just cool, man. It's just cool that they no doubt thought about this, and that probably influenced the way that they were designing the logo for the map. Bradley, well spotted. You, the viewer, thank you so much for watching. Drop a like if you've enjoyed this kind of quick fire video, jumping a bit all over the place. I've got a bunch more zombies videos going up, so subscribe, but then also already gone up, so check those out as well, and I'll hopefully see you in one of those zombies videos. Thanks guys, bye for now.